Well, hello there. It's wonderful to see you. I'm Gerard, Witch of Earth's Curious Goods, and today I'm going to show you how to summon the water elementals, the Undines. Some people will call it the Undines, but if this sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. And without further ado, let's begin. So before we begin, I want to start off with saying that the Undines, or Undines, however you want to say it, but for the sake of how I've been summoning them and my relationship with them, I refer to them as the Undines, so that's how I'll say it. But the Undines, to start off with, are not mermaids. It kills me when everybody refers to the Undines as mermaids, and if you've ever worked with the Undines, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you out there, hopefully, then you kind of know that it kind of like gets under their skin a little bit. When it comes to the Undines, the mermaids are it's like putting the Undines in the same umbrella as a mermaid. Mermaid is half woman, half a fish for most people. Mer people, there are mermen as well, but I digress with that category. That's a whole nother topic. The Undines in particular are the water elementals. They deal with water. I've had personal interactions with them as far as them being near fountains. I've found them near lakes, ponds, streams, but bodies of water are where you'll find the Undines, as they are always near water. Now, when it comes to the Undines, they are shapeshifters, shall I say. Most of the time you don't even know you're in contact with an Undine. It just feels different. Their energy is really, at least in my experience, very friendly. I have heard stories where they can be a little trickster kind of spirit with some people, or they're very alluring to the point of make people come up missing. I don't know in particular. That's kind of the folklore or stories behind them. I don't have any data, I guess, empirical data or facts to back that up. All I can say is my experience with them has been friendly. I have found that the water elementals tend to want to work with humans a lot more than, say, the other elemental spirits, to be exact. I don't know if it's because we're primarily made up of water, or according to legend, they tend to want to marry a human. Most Undines, as far as at least what I've experienced, have a feminine energy to them. And according to Paracelsus, the water element is a feminine aspect. So that's why you kind of find more feminine energy, or the Undines are considered females. I don't know that for a fact. All I know is personally, with my experience, they do come off more feminine in energy, and in that aspect, they're really good with working with beauty, glamour, seduction, sex magic, love magic. They are very good with that. Things that are tied with emotions. Now, when you do come across the Undines, just keep in mind that once again, they are not mermaids, they're not sirens, and I can get onto a whole topic about sirens, because if we go back to the beginning of sirens were half woman and it was like half bird. So that Undines don't have half and half. They are literally a human shape. And like I said, they can shape shift. So I think, and this is just my opinion, is that they can shape shift into a masculine aspect as well. I don't know for sure. I just know, like I said, personally, when I'm working with them, it's usually a very female energy, but it could also be how I'm working with them. When I do ask them for favors, it's usually in the aspect of glamours, or to help with self-love or love magic and things of that nature. So maybe that's why the energy that comes across is very feminine, but I digress with that. Now, we're going to need to summon them, and so I'm going to bring you guys down to the table so that you can see the ingredients that we'll need and so that you can see what's going on. So it's hand puppet time. So I'll bring you right back, I promise. All right, so believe it or not, to summon an Undine, it's actually pretty simple, and they are, you know, very receptive to being summoned. Right now I have a stoneware cauldron, and you can use any container as long as it holds water. You're going to need sea salt. I have noticed that sea salt tends to work better than table salt. If you can get your hands on Epsom salt, that works well. Dead sea salt, I don't know if it's because of the minerals or what's inside of it, but I would recommend getting your hands on sea salt. If you want to do it exactly like how I do it, then so be it, but make the magic your own. If you don't have sea salt, then use whatever salt that you can get your hands on. You're going to need some water. Now, if you have moon water, that works wonders. I did use sun water one time. That didn't work so well, so I would stay away from using sun water, but use moon water. I'm just, for example, this is just tap water, so you could just use tap water, distilled water. Spring water works really well. If you can get your hands on pond water or lake water, that works well as well. We're going to need a piece of paper. And you can use parchment. I just usually take a brown paper bag, and then if you've seen my previous videos, then you kind of take away all the straight edges on there while you're tearing towards yourself to summon. And of course, you guys already know I love a permanent marker. Permanent marker, permanent. So all we're gonna do is just pour the water into your container. And you pour it up kind of high so you can kind of hear the noise. Okay. And just put your sea salt. Going clockwise, you're going to pour it into the water. Okay. After you do that, you're just going to say this spell. By salt and sea, I purify thee. And that's self-explanatory. It purifies the water. It just makes the container and everything that you're doing kind of blessed, basically. Make it pure form. The Undines tend to like clean, clear, purified water. The clearer and cleaner the water, the better. Next, you're gonna just take your piece of paper and you're just gonna write a petition on there. Something that you want them to help you with. So I'm not doing this, so you know, we're just gonna pretend, but an example would be, help me to be attractive to all men that look upon me. Help me to be attractive to a love for all time. Help me to love myself better. Help me to be confident. If it's something to do with emotions, the Undines are really good with. So if it's something emotional that you're working on, whether it's anxiety, fear, hate, they can definitely help with that. And when I say hate too, this can also be external. So let's just say somebody is spewing hateful things to you or being very hateful towards you. Ask the Undines to help you deal with them. So help me deal with not John Doe. Help me deal with Jane Doe. I did it something different. Instead of John Doe, we're doing Jane Doe. Help me to deal with Jane Doe who is harassing me. Help protect me from Jane Doe who makes my life miserable. Help protect me from those who would want to do me harm. That kind of thing. They're really, really good with that, okay? Then you're just gonna fold towards you. Clockwise. Fold towards you. Clockwise. Fold towards you. Clockwise, okay? Towards you to bring forth, clockwise summoning. Then, now that your paper is all folded, you're just going to do an upside down triangle on it to seal it, okay? The reason why we're doing an upside down triangle, that is considered the symbol for water, the element of water. And we're dealing with the element of water, of course, okay? All right, so now you're just going to put some emotion into this petition, right? So if it's, let's just say it's Jane Doe who is harassing you. Jane Doe, stop harassing me. May the Undines hear me. Jane Doe, stop harassing me. May the Undines hear me. Jane Doe, stop harassing me. May the Undines hear me. Okay, so as you can tell, you want to put forceful emotion into this, thought into this, okay? You're just going to drop it into the water, and then you're just going to hold your hands over it, and you're going to say this spell 3 times. From the depths where silence grows, where moonlight dances and mystery flows, I call thee, spirit of water clear. Come now, Undines, draw thee near. By tides that turn and rivers that run, tears of the sky and light of the sun, flow now before me, take form if you will, with peace and purpose and no ill will. Now that you've said that, we're summoning them. You can take a few moments to see if you can see their presence. Sometimes they will have a little image into the water if you stare closely into the water. Other times, it was like the next day, me and sometimes my coven mates, when we deal with the element of water, sometimes it will manifest in the form of heavy fog the next day, or misty rain all around you. So and like I said, they do shapeshift, so be on guard for a complete stranger that suddenly wants to help you. But just be kind. If you notice with the invocation, it has with no ill will. So if it is sort of a trickster type of elemental spirit, like the Undines can sometimes be very playful, then it kind of puts that little clause in there. But like I said, using that spell, I have not come across where I came up with a trickster elemental spirit or an Undine that has been unkind to me. All right, so to complete this though, you do need to put a strand of hair. I'm not doing this, so I'm not summoning them, but you put a strand of hair into the water. Then if you can, place this somewhere safe, okay? So a maximum of 3 days. Okay, 3 days maximum. All right, because we don't want this water to get moldy and disgusting and stale. That's not, believe me, the Undines do not like unpurified water. So a maximum of 3 days, kind of keep this safe, give that manifestation, give it some workings, okay? See if the Undines make their presence known. If not, no worries. Just know that they have heard your plea and they will manifest. Trust me, okay? Well, me personally, I usually will put it into another container, seal it up, and kind of go to a stream or a lake and then put it into the lake or water or something of that nature. If it's running, like a running stream or river, the better. But if not, you can use the ocean, you can use a pond, you can use a lake, what have you, a body of water. Now, my favorite thing to do is to do a fountain. I have always had great luck and experience with the Undines. I always find them near fountains, not sure why, but always with the fountains. Makes me wonder, like when you see kind of the old fountains, it almost looks like the Undines are its inspiration when they're building them or manufacturing these fountains, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. But anyhow, yes, that's all you have to do to summon the Undines. Now, if you're a channel member, I'll leave some tips for you to amplify this spell and give you some tips and tricks that I've done. But like always, make the magic your own. I can't wait to hear your stories on how you guys have worked with the Undines and your experience with them. So don't forget to comment or come back and tell me about how the spell worked out for you. Well, there you have it. So simple, right? To summon an Undine, a water elemental. They're wonderful to work with, at least in my experience, and I hope you give it a try. So I want to thank you, you just watching this video all the way through. For those of you that made it to the end, means the world to me. It helps the channel out so much. Liking, subscribing, those are all just free ways that you can help out my channel, even commenting. That just lets the algorithm know that you guys like my video, and it'll be pushed out to more people so they can experience magic, maybe a little bit of hope, and they can summon the elementals. And of course, I want to thank my channel members, in particular, Tammy, the Mushroom Lady, and Susan Pfeiffer. I thank you guys so much. You guys being a channel member helps keep things running around here. So, as always, stay earthy, stay magical, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.